Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FTC Now Highlights. On this particular episode, we're having a little fun. We're down here in Greeleyville, South Carolina for the annual Greeleyville Flag Day. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite events. We're going to catch up with Virginia, talk to her a little bit about the history of the event, why so many people come out, and what they're doing this year. You guys stay tuned. It's all happening right here on FTC Now Highlights.
Well, my husband Leonard and I, one night, were talking about Kingstree had a big, they had at the time, it was old-fashioned days, and different towns had celebrations, and we said, well, why can't Greeleyville have something too? So we were trying to come up with how could we get it started, and we just said, well, let's have a contest to design a flag for Greeleyville. And Charlie Walker, who was a local radio celebrity and announcer, and he really put Greeleyville on the map because he talked about all the ugly women in Greeleyville and had jokes about Greeleyville. So we said, if we get Charlie involved in this, we know it'll go over. So we advertised that we were having a contest open to anybody to design a flag for the town. And Ken Mason, who now works for Santee Electric and is grown and has children, he was in high school at the time, and he had the winning entry. You just had to draw a picture. And so he drew the Greeleyville flag, and the original flag hangs in the town hall now, and we've had to have several copies made because through the years they get tattered and worn. And it hangs at the bottom of our flagpole every day. And I think at the time Charlie Walker got free tickets to Atlanta Braves ball game, and I think we had a cash prize, but that's what Ken won for winning. So the first Flag Day was just a Saturday, and we picked Memorial Day weekend because we knew that a lot of families come home for the long holiday weekend, and we figured we'd have a good crowd in town. And it was just a one-day festival right on Main Street. We didn't do anything in the town hall, behind the town hall in the orchard as we do now. And I remember the big highlight was the egg toss. We sold beer on the street that day, and you just don't do that anymore. But that was back in 1982 was our first Flag Day, and now it's grown to a 3-day festival, and every year it just gets bigger and better, and we try to find new things to do. I remember one year my brother-in-law, Bobby Jonte, who is now president of the Bank of Greeleyville, he's a pilot. So he had the bright idea, let's do a money drop. So at like 1 o'clock, everybody knew there was going to be a money drop. Well, they didn't know it was only $100, so there was $100 bills, and you would have thought they were dropping millions because it was like a mass confusion. He saw the plane, people would see the plane fly over town, and downtown Main Street was just covered with people running. Well, the wind blew the money over toward the liquor store, who our old mayor, who is now deceased, Doris Brown, ran the liquor store, and she was scared the ceiling was going to fall in because people were jumping up on her roof to get those dollar bills that had landed on the ceiling. But we had hoped that the wind would blow the money right down Main Street, but it blew it all back towards the town hall. So we never tried a money drop anymore. Although Bobby suggested maybe next time we should use coins and just knock out a few people as they tried. We've also had of course, the one-man band is here every year. He's been here for about 15 or 20 years, and it's just good to have music in the background. Carl Brunson, and we used to get in touch with him. Well, now we don't have to call him anymore. He calls us, said, are we still on for Flag Day? He's very faithful. He brings his family. The Girl Scouts, they always have a tent with hot dogs, and of course, Flag Day would not be Flag Day without Lewis Reed, who cooks barbecue and sells barbecue. And he does a lot behind the scenes and never says a word that people don't know about. He feeds the band that comes here. He gives them drinks, feeds them barbecue. He feeds the police department. He feeds the people that help clean up. And very seldom does he get paid for that, but he does that out of his own pocket. And it just takes everybody to... We've got new Flag Day t-shirts this year. Every year we don't get new t-shirts, but we've got these. It's hard to get high school bands for our parade because, school is really about out. Graduations usually take place on Friday night of Flag Day weekend, and you can't require the students to come on a Saturday because school's not in session. But D.P. Cooper, for the last several years, is very faithful in bringing their little band over here, and the principal of D.P. Cooper, Carrie Singleton, grew up and was born and raised in Greeleyville, and his parents still live here, and Carrie lives here, so he's very faithful in supporting Flag Day. But now we have a parade every Saturday, but the highlight of the Flag Day Festival is our church service on Sunday. The church service is just unique. I don't know very few areas that the churches are willing to give up taking up collection on Sunday to all come together. And black and white churches, we all meet in the Michaud Park behind Town Hall, and we alternate who's preaching every year, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful way to spend the day. You end the Flag Day celebration with church, and when it's over, we're all hugging and speaking to each other and saying what a wonderful weekend we had. And to my count, I think we only had one Sunday that it rained, and in case of rain, we do it at the Kennedy Center. We had a womanless beauty pageant for 2 years, and that was a hoot. Charlie Walker emceed it because he always talked about the ugly women of Greeleyville. And the first year we did it at the old elementary school auditorium, which has now been torn down. It's not there anymore. And we must have had 20 men. Pretty men dressed up. The Methodist minister, I remember, he had on false red fingernails, and they gave him a fit about that in church the week after Flag Day. But Leonard, my husband, entered, and I will never forget this, and it took a lot of convincing to do. He wore a black bathing suit that I had, one-piece bathing suit, and I fixed a skirt, long skirt that would go with it. And so when he walked out, we had a ramp for the beauties to walk out on, and when he got to the end of the runway, he ripped off that skirt and twirled it around his head. Well, the crowd went wild. My daughters, of course, died. They were so totally embarrassed that their daddy would do something like that. But he was crowned the first Miss Greeleyville. And the crown was a horse mule collar, and their flowers were corn stalks out of the field. And the second year we did it, once men had done it, they didn't want to do it again. But we didn't have quite a big crowd in the Miss Greeleyville contest that year. But Charles Bradshaw won that year, and he was just pretty. He was just pretty. Charles was the only boy in a family of, I think, 6 children. So his sisters helped get him fixed up and beautified for the Miss Greeleyville contest. But we hadn't done another one of those since. We only had 2. But I will never forget Leonard getting at the end of that walkway and ripping his, I don't think Charlie Walker will ever forget that. But now Leonard had pretty legs. It's just a fun day every year. This year we've got pony rides, and we went to the Striped Bass Festival in Manning and talked to their big rides people, and we've got big rides this year, and we're just real excited. And we've got a good turnout, and today the weather's not hot. It's got a good breeze. It's cool. Some people have on jackets, and we're just thanking the good Lord for good weather and a good crowd.
As you guys know, here at FTC Now, it's always a fun house, and we are literally going through the actual fun house right now. It's kind of like one of those old carnival scenes, you know, where you never know what's behind you. And this is the hard part. This is the part where you really get to work out. My cameraman's having the tough time actually getting the camera through. I have no idea where we're going. I have no idea where this ends, and I don't know if I can fit into this hamster. How did that happen? All right, we're gonna go through the actual cat house here. This is an incredible adventure. You guys, we're taking you on it. And this is the part we're supposed to slide, but I don't know how good this is. You guys, this is excellent. All right. Come on, Jason, you gotta make it through. We've got the toughest part of this course right now. I feel like I'm going through basic training for clowns right now. So the hardest part of this whole trek is getting up this rope ladder here, which I think I'm supposed to hold on to, but I'm a dangerous, daring kind of individual. I don't believe in the rules. All right, we are at the pinnacle of the funhouse. This thing, if you can follow me, you've never seen a sight like this. I've never been so incredibly high in all of my life. Look at this view. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greeleyville Flag Day. It has been a pleasure working with these folks today. It's been an awesome adventure and something I'll never forget. You guys continue to stay tuned to FTC Now as we bring you only the best in local entertainment. As for me, I'm sliding on out of here. Take it easy.